Scorpio, welcome to a Law of Attraction reading for June 2020. It's Rena here, and yeah, so this is something I found on Pinterest. I really need to get my Pinterest game on because, you know, it's actually quite helpful to have these visuals, you know, just in different areas of your life, but when you're trying to do tarot readings, you can collect a whole bunch of them and then you can refer to them. And if I do that, it's a lot more organized. But what I tend to do is just save it to my computer and then look it up later. So this is from emeraldlotus.ca, and I've been saying that, as I recall, because I've used that site before, and I think it's emeraldlotustarot.com or something now, like they've changed their name. But in any case, I'm just going to lay out the cards and then I'll tell you what each position means. And yes, I do have a very tight shot here. Bear with me. It's got to be this way. That's all I can say about it. Okay. I'm just getting my laptop ready to refer to the meme, whatever you want to call it. I picked out 2 cards for the second slot, so that's why they're there. And then there's 6 cards altogether. Because I picked the next one, that's why it's there. I still have a window open, so sorry about that, whatever that is. Single engine plane, I guess. Okay, the first card represents the vibration that you're emitting. Now, Law of Attraction can mean anything that you want to attract into your life. Excuse me. I was thinking more career and money. But then I thought, hey, some people want to attract a relationship. They're happy with their career, but their love life is what they want to attract. So I just want to keep it more open. And the vibe that you're emitting is represented by the 4 of Wands. This is actually a card of you know, marriage. So if that's something, if you're ready for a committed relationship, that could be this card. It's actually like a new home, maybe. I don't know how you emit a vibe that you want a new home, but just ready for a change of sorts. In general, the Wands represent fire energy, so it's enthusiastic. It's not, you know, in other words, when you're trying to attract something, you have to have a desire, and fire is about desire, passion. And if you're like indifferent, it's hard to attract something to you because you're not even that into it. So this is actually a good thing, whatever it is that you're looking to have. It sounds like you're in a good place vibrationally. The second position is something that you need to be more open to receiving. And it's not always something that you may want to receive, but you have to be open to it. And the reason I say that is because sometimes the things that we push away, that we are resistant to, are exactly what we need in order to get to that next stage. One of these cards is the Queen of Pentacles. This is a very like domestic goddess type of card. So let's say you're a Scorpio woman and you are really, this could be like a mother. And let's say you have been wanting to have a child. And that's what your Law of Attraction is all about. And Perhaps you've even tried to get pregnant and it hasn't worked out. Perhaps you need to go whole hog, if you will, and you have to stay at home and be like, totally in that environment. Maybe you're trying to do it all. And, with another thing that the wands represent is career. So sometimes people think that they can do it all. Think about what it means to bring a child into the world. That is like everything. How can, I mean, I know that people literally do it. I know that women literally give birth and sometimes go back to work right away. But it's so consuming. It takes so much out of you that if you're having difficulty, it might be because you're not nesting. You're not, that's what the Queen of Pentacles means to me. It's like the nesting instinct. And if, for instance, you are looking for a new home, maybe you haven't been spending enough time in your current home. And so you're not even like really appreciating what you have. That's another thing that is supposed to be good for manifesting, is appreciating what you currently have. So the other card that I got is the Five of Wands. And it's like about something you need to be more open to receiving. The Five of Wands is about conflict. Now, you are ruled by Pluto and Mars, so I would say the average Scorpio person is hardly somebody who is afraid of conflict. But having said that, you may still, like let's say that you're looking for a relationship, that you really want a relationship that's going to last, but you're not really engaging with your partner at a deep level. You might have an inner planet in Libra, Scorpio, because Libra is right next to you. Perhaps you have Venus in Libra. And you have a tendency to avoid conflict because that's how Libra is. That's going to make your relationship superficial. And so a person who wants to have a true happy marriage, as represented by the Four of Wands, has to be willing to mix it up and be who they are and not be afraid of conflict. It does feel strange saying that, because I don't think sometimes Scorpios are like that, but not all Scorpios are the same. Another thing too is, let's say it's something as simple as you want to have a house. Maybe you have to fight for it. Maybe you have to, look at what this card looks like. It's like the highest bidder. Like everybody's in the mix and everybody's kind of, going after that same thing. I tried to do something on eBay once with bidding, and I didn't like it because I can't remember, but then I decided I didn't want it after all, and then they were going to make me pay for it or something. That's not like, a bidding war isn't really my cup of tea. Thankfully, they don't seem to be as much about bidding anymore. But some people, sometimes something is worth fighting for. And this could even be a relationship. If, let's say, you are interested in somebody, maybe that Four of Wands is a fire sign. And perhaps you need to be uncharacteristic. If you tend to be more of the one that wants to wait for the person to come to you, you have to declare your ardor or, passion for that person. Okay. The third position is what will come when you are more open to this, when you're more open to this idea of going after what you want. The Queen of Swords is a card of kind of, I think it's like being able to make a decision. And I see this person sometimes as having been through a lot. You know, that she is very, a little bit, you know, kind of keeping her emotions in check because she doesn't want to get carried away, but still, you know, wanting to do something about a particular issue, and you know, being level-headed, and that can be very important when you're dealing, because with the fire energy, you can get carried away. I mean, even though it's very good, it kind of reminds me of like the Nine of Cups, like too much of a good thing. But sometimes we have to kind of keep ourselves in check so that we don't go overboard in one direction or the other. And the fourth position is card to represent the next step I have to take, leap of faith. I like, you know, in this particular spread, I like this because they kind of mix up the cards. Some of them are kind of advice and some are just, you know, where you're at and things like that. I kind of like that. And so this is kind of like advice, and it's Knight of Wands. So the next logical step you have to take, and this is about having that, being like a warrior and having the guts. There again, more fire energy. And fire is also connected to confidence, which means that you carry yourself with a way that you're self-assured, that you believe. I think confident people believe that they're deserving of whatever it is that they're going after. You know, I think that's a given. But also, they're confident that they are, they're worthy, but also that they are going to get it, you know, that it's going to be a done deal. And the fifth position is, how can I manifest even more successfully? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Now this is interesting because the Knight of Wands is connected to Sagittarius, and the Wheel of Fortune is connected to Jupiter, which is the ruler of Sagittarius. So Jupiter and Sagittarius, you know, the sign that it rules, are connected with positive thinking. You know, exactly what we're talking about. I think law of attraction should be alongside Sagittarius in the, you know, dictionary. Because really, Jupiter is about a mentality of expansion. It's about luck. It's about good luck. It's about I would say alignment. I like that better than luck. Luck sounds kind of random, and I really feel that we make our own luck with that vibe. That, you know, wherever we're at, sometimes we're higher than others. And when we can maintain a consistently high vibe, I think that we just become a magnet to success. Scorpio is a sign that's very complicated as far as I'm concerned. I think that you are a very powerful being, Scorpio, and that you have a very strong energy field. But this can, you know, life is a paradox. This can work both ways. If you are emotionally very feeling very strong feelings, you know, Scorpios tend to feel things very deeply, but that can be more constructive or destructive. So being able to embrace the idea of the positive may be something that some of you have to do first. And what I mean by that, not to say that you're just negative or anything like that, but you may think that life isn't all lollipops and unicorns, and I would be right there with you. The only thing is, because you rule the 8th house, which is about what lies beneath. So it's about the shadow. And a lot of times, this is why Scorpios don't suffer fools gladly, because you may feel like so many people are superficial, that they live life on the surface, that they're afraid of the darker things in life, and that you're so much deeper than them, and you're like willing to just, go to those depths. And that may be 100% true. However, that can lead sometimes to a person who is more acclimated to the dark side than to the light side. And not because you are excessively negative, but you're just really fascinated by those things that people don't want to show the world, the underbelly, the seedy underbelly of life. And so the uplifting thoughts, the uplifting things that you take into your consciousness, I think can magnetize you, and that's what you should really, go towards more often than maybe you do currently. And then this is advice. Let me see exactly how they put it. It's a message from the universe, but how they put it is message from your higher self, source, energy, or spirit. 4 of Pentacles. This is a card of financial security, but it can be, you see how the person is holding on to the money. It can be sometimes kind of fear-based, thinking about material resources, lack consciousness, scarcity consciousness, greed, over materialism. Not that you necessarily are like a spendaholic or anything like that, but you may be too afraid of letting go of your resources. I remember long ago, before Law of Attraction was even on the radar in my life, and I'd love to know what year it is. Maybe some of you remember as well. Remember when Deepak Chopra came out with the 7 spiritual laws of success? I think it was even, it might have been like in the late 90s or something, because I remember getting it, I think around 1999, around then. And one of the laws that he had was about circulating money, that money has to circulate. And that was an interesting thing. This was a precursor to the law of attraction, because these ideas are not new. These have been around in the New Thought community. It's funny to say New Thought. You could be talking about the turn of the 20th century. In other words, the turn of the 1900s, when some of that came in. And who knows, there's probably built upon stuff before then. But the idea that, people who hoard their resources are cutting off the energetic flow. That was kind of what, he might not have used the word hoard, but that was one of the words. I was just looking up something for the 4 of Pentacles for a private reading, and that word hoarding of resources, or that phrase, came up for the 4 of Pentacles. And I can see that with Scorpio. I think Scorpio is anal retentive sometimes, and that can, that grasping can be this form of trying to maintain control over oneself, which is an illusion. So being able to handle your finances in a way that is going to make it so that if let's say you are transitioning to your own business, and maybe the 4 of Wands is that you want to work from home, that you You need to have that financial security in order to do it. But not to be so fear-based that you say, I'm not going to spend any money, being too extreme in that. And allowing money to circulate as well. Okay, Scorpio, that's what I have for you. I hope that you receive something from this. If you would like a private reading, I do an astrological reading, like a life path reading or a career love reading. I have different permutations of readings. And you can check me out at rainandmoonastrology.com. I have a link below for my order page if you want to see what kind of readings I offer. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.